when I say we back, I mean we back like I got clothes on my back. We back like we found the cover to the remote. Like we here. We here.
Hopefully
It's
that's on the count
September.
line.
Yeah, man. We here, man. It's September.
Yes,
Football season is upon us. Wake up, Mr. West. How you
I'm
doing
trying.
today?
I'm doing great, doing great. Bless. Go Notre Dame, go Irish. Good game yesterday. Um, defense, defense, defense. Offense, y'all got some work to do.
Yeah, that was something else. I did tune in. First and foremost, I'm still getting used to, I guess, the games being on ABC like type deal instead of NBC.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a little different. Definitely a little different. And then all these conferences and switched up and super conferences and everything. It's different. It's
the
different,
big,
but nevertheless,
you got the Big 45 instead of the Big 10. Like, how
dude,
many
we
teams
just,
you got now?
dude, they might as well have a subdivision called Big Ten West. Like
Right.
it's dude,
Uh,
instead of the SEC should be just called the S, the South. Like it's
the South, the whole South. Yeah.
nothing but the South. But yeah, nevertheless, man, you know, season starts Thursday. A
Yeah.
lot of fantasy football drafts are happening this weekend. I mean, heck, we did one last night. We did
Yeah.
our Destination Fantasy League draft last night, and typically it's a 12 teamer, but there was some people hitting me up. They wanted to get in. They wanted to get in. I'm like, you know what? Fine. So this league this year is up to 14 teams, which made things a little bit more interesting. Um, and then also like all four of us, even Sean and Ian, that's not here at the moment. Uh, all four of us are in this league. So yeah, this here is pretty cool. Matter of fact, I'm going to actually
Hmm.
show you. I'm gonna show you my team real quick.
Okay.
As soon as I can find the tab, here we go. All right, can you see it clear? I need to zoom in a
Yeah.
little bit.
No, I can see it.
All right, man. So team name is the King. Well, more so the crown has returned. So,
Okay.
all right. So
So you the king of this league?
look, man, I'm trying to get my crown back, man.
Who won
That is
last year?
all. Uh, I'm pretty sure it was my guy named Tyler that won last year. Pretty sure, and
Who
he's
do you
back
play?
in there.
Who do
Huh?
you play in the championship?
I don't remember. I can't even
Ah,
tell you right now.
okay. You don't
I,
remember?
I just know I wasn't in there. That's all I know.
Oh, bro. So coming from a person who was in there,
Oh, oh, oops, my bad.
huh? No. I'm pretty confident because I think I made it to the championship in both of my games last year.
Yeah, you probably did.
I know I got I cashed out on both, but huh?
Hmm. So apparently I gotta go through you too again as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
But matter of fact, I think I got you week one
Well, you
in
like
in
it?
this.
You say the king, like it's like a small village or something, or like
Oh, okay. Well, it's all right. You know what? You gonna catch this. You gonna catch this
okay. I
heat this year.
just want to make sure I
But
was on see.
all right. But look, so I was picked 14. I had the last pick. I'm sitting here waiting. Like I kid you not. Like doing this draft, I make my two picks. Like I'm scrolling over on Facebook and doing every stuff and like looking at the game, checking back in. I mean, it took a while,
Yeah.
but nevertheless, Kyler Murray's my quarterback. Kyron Williams, I got in the first round. Alvin Kamara, he fell to me. What pretty much the deeper the league is, of course, things become more scarce
Yeah.
every time your pick comes around. And so therefore, like for me personally, I try to get at least one quote unquote elite player at each position, or at least like a top 10 player at each position. I try to. So Kyron's definitely a top 10 back. Murray, I mean, that could be borderline there. He'll have his moments.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, hey man, his dad know what Marvin is about on that
Yeah.
one. Um,
Great pick.
Man, appreciate that. Got Tank Dale's my wide receiver too, and that high power offense. We'll see how that goes. I
Yeah.
made an emphasis to grab Sam Laporta there as
Where did he get shot at?
huh?
Where did Sam Tank Dell get shot? Like, was it his arm, leg? Where did he get shot at?
I think it was the leg.
Okay.
I think it was the leg. Which hold on. Without further ado, it's Mr. Reed.
Gentlemen, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. Good morning.
All right. So, at the moment, just told them that we had our draft last night. I'm actually going through my team real quick. I was just highlighting the fact that I tried to emphasize getting at least a top 10 player at each of the four pivotal positions, with it being a 14-team league.
It's difficult.
It is like every position becomes more and more scarce as the rounds go by. So, Cortland Sutton in my flex. I mean, he's technically a number one wide receiver. Ain't got nobody really else to throw to these days. So hopefully he's a target hog. I pretty much punted on defense and kicker. I really don't care. But there was people taking defenses in the 7th round and stuff. So I don't know. And so, like for me, with leagues that's like as deep as this, of course, the bench is critical. And I try to find players. I'm always looking for players with high ceilings. I don't want any low floor players. I try not to have any low floor. Low ceiling players rather. I'm sorry, low ceiling players on my bench, but high ceilings, just in case. You never know. All it takes is one play. So, Ryan Thomas, technically a number one wide receiver. Chase Brown, towards the end of last year, he was definitely a serviceable flex option, and with Joe Mixon in Houston, but they insert Zach Moss. Maybe that splits probably more even this year with that. Jamison Williams, that is a high ceiling player. All it takes is one play. I purposely drafted Blake Corum as my handcuff to Kyron Williams because all I know is whoever is the RB1 in that system and the Sean McVay's offense is usually pretty good. Trey Benson, I feel like that's a serviceable RB2 right there for the Cardinals. Quanko, Titans, and then Bo Nix. I heard good things about Bo Nix. I don't know. We'll see. But it got real thin. So yeah, that's my team. Mr. West, should we go take a look at your team since I'm playing you in week 1?
Oh yeah, go ahead. It's fine. Oh, we are playing first. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good week. Oh man, hey,
Coach Nation.
Hey, right, exactly. So after a while, this is me. Like I'm so locked in Notre Dame game. Like after was it like round? We got to like the 10th round. I was like, what Colts player is available? I start grabbing them. So I got like every Colts receiver except for Michael Pittman. But just starting off, AR, you already know I chose him. That's my QB. But last year for the few games he played, he put up a lot of fantasy points. First pick was JT. Love that top back in the league. So you're trying to get those top tier players. And I got Zach Moss because he played for us last year, but I think going over to Cincinnati, he's going to have that. He already knows he's going to be RB1. I think he'll get majority of the carries, and he actually fared well with us. He was leading the league in rushing, or was it rushing yards per attempt within the first few games that he started before JT came and took over. DJ Moore in that high-powered offense. I think he's and Jamar is hoping. I know he's gonna be cheering against DJ Moore week 1, but hey, that's I expect big things out of that crew. High expectations. Same for T. Higgins. down in Cincinnati. Thought that was a really good pick. Brock Bowers.
That
like,
one
no,
right there.
yeah,
That one right there. I think that's a wild card. I think he's gonna be a monster.
yeah. I mean, then like Gardner Minshew can't throw the ball over 15 yards. Guess who's going to be there? Brock Bowers.
Yep.
So yeah, I lived through it last year, and then of course, Colts defense, and then we got Matt Gay, and yeah, that was kind of towards the end of the draft, but that was fun. Smith and Jigba. Hopefully, Geno's out there slinging it like he was early last year. Xavier Worthy. I feel like that's a wild card. With like his role in that Kansas City offense, because it's kind of like difficult, like every year, like like getting a receiver from Kansas City. But I feel like, they drafted him, that high as a first round draft pick. And with his skill set, he's that speedster. So I know we've been waiting on the next Tyreek Hill. Maybe they got their next Tyreek Hill and Xavier Worthy. And now this is the gamble. And I got him in both leagues. Loved it. My Nick Chubb pick. He's coming back off of that gruesome, with broken leg, or he just tore everything in that knee. Everybody knows, Nick's work ethic, coming back. This man already squatting 600 pounds, like it's nothing, like an air squat. Now I know he's going to be out for a little bit. So what I want to end up doing is maybe grabbing somebody else in free agency, moving him down to the IR. And I think that's my wild card pick that could come back and really benefit, especially in that offense, which I think is going to make, I think that offense is going to be a lot better than what people, expect. Deshaun Watson, let's turn that clock back. And then they went and got Jerry Jeudy, and they still have Amari Cooper, and so Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson as well for the same reason. And here comes my Colts pick.
Here we go.
I told you I was grabbing my receivers, man. Like somebody gonna pop off. Somebody, hopefully it's a Donnie Mitchell, or Adonai Mitchell. And the same thing with the T. Higgins pick earlier. Like I kind of like getting wide receiver twos, especially if they're really good, because if you're gonna double that wide receiver one, well, who's gonna eat? That's when your T. Higgins and your Adonai Mitchell or your Josh Downs are gonna come in there. And last but not least, Dawson Knox out in Buffalo. I mean, yeah, you got Josh Allen throwing to you. Josh Allen's gonna sling it. Yeah.
Right, fair enough. So week 1, I don't know, maybe we can talk about a wager later. We can probably talk about that next week. But man, where Mr. Reed, you want me to pull up your team too?
Yeah. I guess you guys gave the rundown. I'm gonna give you the reason behind like the team that I picked. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying I think like after every draft, no one is satisfied. Like you always feel like that there's room for improvement. I can tell you, like what picks I was happy with, the picks that I thought that I reached for, and the things of that nature. It did not. I'm gonna say this: it did not. The drive didn't go as I planned it to go. But it's like you kind of got to pivot, right?
Yep.
I did some like the similar things that you guys do, especially based off of last year's scoring as well as trajectory for like the following year, because you always going to have like that one anomaly, a guy who's going to have 1,000 yards rushing and receiving that damn well ain't going to repeat that same following year. So like we like to call them fool's gold in our line of work, gentlemen. You know what I mean? So we try our best to stay away from those type of players. But anyway, so
Tony Pollard.
Dude, thank you.
Crazy, bro.
And Tony Pollard was sitting there, bro, and I did not pick him. And the crazy thing is, I went with it, like I did not want to do this. So that's where I'm gonna start. Love the Jahmyr Gibbs pick, or whatever. I got him at 11 overall. But what I did not want to do is grab David Montgomery. But it was either between him, Tony Pollard, and I think like Zeke and like a bunch of other of those rejects is like I like to call them. So I went with David Montgomery, like overall. So I felt okay with that. Jordan Love, we know about, like, I'm gonna have to talk about Green Bay's offense right here for Jamar. So if you want to stay silent, be my guest. But we know how they're low-key high power, man. Jordan Love played phenomenal. He finished as the top 5 quarterback last year. As far as like PPR scoring is concerned, and I think he can give somewhere similar to that. Yes, he was. He finished number 5 actually to the tune of 330 fantasy points. Scoring over names like Patrick Mahomes, Tua, you know what I mean, CJ Stroud, some of the bigger names. Jordan Love was that good. So I liked him. I like getting him late. Jahmyr Gibbs' pick was solid. I needed a decent enough RB2. Running backs were thin, gentlemen. Like running back is thin. Wide receiver, I feel like it's like a little bit deep. So with me grabbing James Cook, that Buffalo offense, it seemed like it made like a turn last season toward like the end of the season from a throwing one to like a rushing one. James Cook was the beneficiary of that to his first 1,000-yard season. So shout out to my boy. I got him in Dynasty as well. That's why I'm kind of more so hyping him up. Devontae Adams, we know what Tay Adams can do. Again, I was really on the fence about this one. But with Gardner Minshew being, named the starter, I mean, one thing he's gonna do is sling the ball. Like Gardner Minshew is going to throw it, and he's going to throw it a ton. I think Devontae Adams can be one of those guys who, benefits from that. I think he'll be the same Devontae that he was last year. He finished wide receiver 10 in terms of fantasy points. Christian Watson, this is the pick that I did not like, right? So as my wide receiver 2, I technically got a wide receiver 3 with upside here. Basically, I didn't like the pick, but pairing him with Jordan Love and with him being fully healthy, I'm looking at it like that's kind of like a big, thing that I kind of really wanted to do. That's what I wanted to shoot for. And honestly, I could have had it was either between him and Jaden Reed, who was phenomenal as well.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm taking my unbiased hat off here just for a second.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say this is the wild card, like for real, because of the fact that, like you mentioned, Watson wasn't really healthy at all last year, and then when Jordan Love really got going, Watson wasn't really the guy at all. It was more so between Reed and Dobbs and Dontavian Wicks type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But we know Watson is the one that really takes the top off the defense, and we saw it 2 years ago. So it's like you do have a situation here with a very high ceiling on this guy, even though he is technically, in that wide receiver 3 category that you mentioned, but there's definitely a high ceiling with this person.
No, right. Nah, dude, you hit the nail right on the head. And that's why I kind of went there. And again, we call it like a reach, you know what I mean? And it was a little bit of a reach, whatever. But like I said, the parent of Love to Watson made it a little bit better. Travis Kelce, that's, not hey, as old as that dude is, he's still out there getting it done. He's still a top target and on that team. First ballot Hall of Famer, whatever you want to say about him. So I feel like he's going to take over a little bit of the slack that if Watson doesn't do as well as I predicted, Travis Kelce should come in and do, try to take over that a little bit. Ladd McConkey, right? So I kind of more so talked myself into this one. I kind of more so like him at the flex. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with Herbert or whatever. I think Herbert should be healthy for week 1 is what I've been reading, but there is no established wide receiver 1. They are disappointed, pissed. They are just perturbed about that guy, Quentin Johnston. He hasn't been what they drafted him to be. Is that primary wide receiver 1 when, Keenan Allen, gets up there in age and, he's with you guys now, Jamar, which, I'm sure you over there skinning and grinning about, you know what I'm saying? But Ladd McConkey, I think that this can be a pretty valuable pick, especially going into like mid-season, like once he, gains that rapport with Herbert. Chiefs defense, they were really good last year, man. Like one of the top defenses. And I'm like, they don't have any names that'll kind of like more so blow you out of the water, but the ability for them to be able to get to the quarterback sacks is what's going to keep this team fantasy relevant. Conley Fairbairn, one of the highest percentage kickers in the league, high-powered offense in Houston. You want to pick a kicker based on how many points they're going to score. Houston, they're going to be in the red zone early and often a bunch. So that's why I went with him. It was either between him and what's the recent kicker who just got paid? Cincinnati. Evan McPherson. It was either between those two, and I went with Miami. David Montgomery, I talked about him a little bit. And it's like my bench. Like, I like you guys' benches, man. Like, you guys' bench are a little bit stronger than mine. David Montgomery, Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Lockett. Michael Wilson, don't like the pick. I actually like the Luke McCaffrey pick. or whatever. I do.
I like that one too.
I like the pick again in overreach. I had to just go ahead and grab a tight end, just to back up for 1 week, or what if Travis Kelce misses and Noah Fant, he was the best available tight end. And the Bengals defense, like you, Walt, man, like I was watching a Notre Dame game. It was a very, very good game, and the last pick of the draft, I did not pick that, and that was the Bengals defense. So they won't be there come week 1. Wait, nope, they play New England. Maybe I'll flirt with it. I'll flirt with it.
I would put them in a heartbeat. I'll take that.
Anybody versus New England this year? Let's go.
Right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you might have KC their defense. Put them on the bench this week. I'm just saying. I'm not.
Yeah,
playing.
I mean, probably because they do play Baltimore, and what they're capable of doing. So I might go ahead and slide Bengals in there. I'll probably kick them out after week 1, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of more so like my team in a nutshell. I think I can compete or whatever. Picking 11 out of 14 wasn't ideal for me. Like I wanted to pick somewhere like around like 7 or like 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
But like
I would have loved to have been in the middle of the pack.
Oh, for sure.
It was nice. Except when you had like people in front of you not drafting, so then you gotta wait, and then it goes to auto pick, and it's like, all right, come on now.
And, the first round's always the longest.
Yeah,
by default. But yeah, gentlemen, appreciate us going through that. Let's see real quick. Fat golfer. What's going on? He said, hey guys, in week 1, should I play Rashid Rice versus Baltimore or Cortland Sutton at Seattle?
Rashid Rice. I mean, I'm come on. That's one of those exciting games that I think it's going to be high scoring. Beginning of the year, I think it's going to be one of those games.
Wait. Why is this man not suspended?
Because he's on my team. I talked to old Raj. I said, hey, I got Rice. I got him. I'm gonna need him to play. All
right. Like real talk though. Like a lot of people anticipated this man being suspended. That's probably why his ADP has been so low this whole offseason. And I mean, any other year, based on how like any player's activity outside of football, this man would have been suspended already. We would have known. He probably would have got 6 games at least. It would have kept it moving. But the fact that there's not one suspension happening, it's just mind-boggling to me. Maybe he still gets suspended. They just waiting until like Wednesday to do it. I don't know, but
I think they said that it was going to be highly unlikely, considering I think first time offender here or whatever. So like I mean, I was reading up on it too. Like I wanted to draft him, but he was gone by the time I got my chance. So.
Maybe I'm being a little biased, but like if we go out and we go get like a ticket or DUI or something like that, do we get suspended from our jobs? Nope. So,
man, and your boy Jimmy said they said they're waiting for his outcome legally, which is strange.
It's looking good.
I mean, no, I think you kind of got to go with Rice, but Cortland's I can see why he's why he's going back and forth between the two, but ultimately you got to play Rice, right? You kind of more so have to. Like if this was mid-season or whatever, and we kind of see what these two could do, whatever. We don't know what type of quarterback play we're gonna get out of Denver for like the moment. So I would go with the more so a sure thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like Cortland definitely has some upside there, but it's just more so like you said, the short thing. Familiar face also. Hollywood Brown is probably not playing. He's still out probably a couple more weeks. Yep. I mean, they signed Juju, but I'm pretty sure Juju's like wide receiver 10 on this team at this point.
He made the team.
He made the team. Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro, it's so crazy when you get these receivers and people that have left Pittsburgh and that Mike Tomlin, nobody's done anything. Like, I mean, AB went and got a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, but I mean, it's kind of like off and on the league type deal. Like, yeah, that happened to him. What's the kid who just tried to make a comeback to play for you guys? It was Martavius Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
All these cats to leave Pittsburgh and like, hey, life's good over here. But that, I guess they don't realize how good they got it. It goes,
grass ain't always greener, man.
Yeah, fizzle out. Yeah, even with Le'Veon Bell, like it never really panned out for him.
Dude, that man wanted like a huge contract.
Yeah.
End up holding out, left the team for the Jets, and ended up paying him less than what the Steelers was offering him, and then went to a worse situation.
Yeah. They ended up cutting him.
And then didn't he miss the whole year too? He missed the whole year of football.
Yeah, he missed the whole year of football, and that's how he got to the Jets. I guess he didn't sign the free agency tag, so he got to sit out, and it's stupid.
Dude. And then he found out real quick his little hesitation running back style didn't work anywhere else, so it went down real quick. Oh my gosh, but
man, that dude was good though. Man, oh my god, man, that dude was really good.
Prime Bell was something else.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, are we this old already? Because I was watching some game the other day. I don't know. Well, yesterday it was somebody in college football. Their first name was Le'Veon. I'm like, what? It's spelled the exact same way. Like, are we this old already?
I think so. Yeah. I feel like it.
I ain't know.
Oh man, but yeah, we all three of us agree on the Rice on that one. Because I think you could still pass on Baltimore, even though that that secondary is still decent, but I think you can still yes.
Yeah, it's Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? So week one here, you know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta roll roll with your boy.
It's before he rolls his ankle. Yeah, he's always gonna roll his ankle. He'll get a couple games where Patrick Mahomes is limping. This is week one. Everything's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns into Patrick. Yeah.
Man, fair enough. Man, so season starts Thursday. Game on Friday. The rest of week one next Sunday. Yes. So I know every year we do our hashtags, right? We find a couple of players that we latch on, free such and such, and maybe a couple of years later it didn't work out the way that we thought it did, but. Examples, Tony Pollard and Khalil Herbert and some other people. But anyway, but nevertheless, is there like anybody that if we take the shackles off their feet, if we anything like that, these players can turn up and turn out for us this year? Anybody?
I mean, at the moment, nah, man. Like, I look, I'm not jumping into like the deep end again, man, because a couple of those hashtags were not deserving. Like, I'm gonna wait until like the season starts, and I want to be a little bit more accurate this time, or whatever, because it was a couple of players that we gave hashtags to that I wish we would have never did, bro. Dang. That's fantasy for you. You know what I'm saying? So.
All right, so I just thought of one, and I drafted him in one of my leagues, and I hope that I'm wrong, but hashtag lock up Kyle Pitts. Lock him up. He ain't been him. Lock him up. Lock him up.
That's a good one. Free Kincaid. Yeah.
Hey.
I feel like Kincaid about to spread his wings this year.
He should be able to, because he is playing. He basically a wide receiver playing like the tight end position, and with the young guy there, Keon Coleman. I still think he needs a little bit of fine tuning, but I think he's gonna be just fine as well. But Kincaid's been there. He got the rapport, even though they didn't want to sprinkle in a little bit more so Dawson Knox there, but he's more so of your traditional tight end, both blocking and receiving. But Kincaid is that receiving option, and man, I hope they free him. I hope they free him too, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Kincaid gonna get his. Man, why going back to the Pitts, man? Like, come on, they got Kirk O'Chains, man. He about to like him and tight ends, man. They always do numbers. Like Hawkinson, and I think before that when Jordan Reed back in the day.
Bro, I need it, so I'm with it. I drafted him, but I lock him up. Like, hey, if he bums out this year, like, hey, lock him up. He finally has a QB.
Yeah, I'm with you. That was gonna be like my little 2 cents that I was gonna add to it. After this year, bro, that's it. Like, for him to be drafted as high as he was, and the freakish athlete, man, it looked like he should be playing basketball, to be completely honest. Like, he's just that freak of like an athlete. So just this 1 year, and then like I'm just gonna let him ride off up in like the sunset.
You think Kyle Pitts can drive baseline and dunk on somebody?
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Athlete.
Fair enough.
Freak athlete, bro.
He got what's his name? He got turned in that gold jacket that they gave him on draft day.
Mm-hmm.
We was saying Hall of Fame Kyle Pitts from day one, though.
Please hold that jacket hostage.
That man he got that Mo Alley Cox stats, bro.
It's still time though. He's still young, so
Is Mo still on the team?
Yeah, Mo made the team. Mo can block, man. So he can block down there. So Mo's still there. Shoot, they be like this a little thing. Like we got him and Ashton Doolin. Like they keep making the team because they can block. Ashton Doolin gonna play special teams, and yeah, Big Mo made it.
Dude, I'll never forget the first time I even heard of Big Mo. It was against us. It was a game in Chicago. Big Mo scored 2 touchdowns against us. I'm like, who is Mo Alley Cox? But he's the reason why we lost this game.
Hey, I know y'all playing him again this year. Big Mo.
Oh yeah, week 3 if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, in Chicago. I think it's Chicago.
I think it's here. I think it's in Indianapolis.
Big Mo.
Oh, Anthony, good morning. So how you guys feeling about Khalil Shakir? I mean, there's a plenty of opportunity to go around in Buffalo these days. Deshaun, you mentioned it earlier when you was talking about James Cook, like how basically when they was it Ken Dorsey they fired or somebody, or Ken Dorsey took over the job? Basically, whoever the offensive coordinator was initially, once they got rid of him, they changed their identity, and it went from really pass heavy to the James Cook show type deal, and tried to limit Josh Allen per se with the ball a lot more than what he was doing before. But nevertheless, they still trying to figure out wide receiver 1 to a certain extent. Like, they hope it's, Keon Coleman, but I mean, Shakir is pretty much the longest 10-year wide receiver there at this point. So,
wow.
And the guy, has, I mean,
he showed flashes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So there's definitely an opportunity there for him, especially in deeper leagues. If you got this man in deeper leagues, I mean, I would definitely stash him. He would have been on my bench if I would have saw him at a certain point last night. So,
but didn't have another receiver though from Washington?
Yeah, another yep.
Okay, yeah.
Gadget man.
Yeah, basically he's just like a kind of like a receiver. The good thing about Shakir is that he is a deep threat. And if James watching still, James Knapp, feel free to chime in because he's Bills Mafia all the way.
There you go.
Well, there he is right there. He said last 10 games through, Shakir turned up, believe, over 600 yards. And that's due to the fact that the dude is fast, bro. The dude is fast. And with combining Josh Allen's arm strength with speed is like the perfect combination for those two. Like we seen it with Gabe Davis. Like he made Gabe Davis fantasy relevant. You know what I mean? So if he can take over that Gabe Davis like role, then I think he does present some fantasy relevancy.
Hey man, Gabe Davis is banned on this show.
That's your boy though, Jamar.
I rather support Christian Kirk. You know how I feel about that guy.
I don't know what you got against Christian Kirk, bro. Like only thing Christian Kirk has done is be relevant wherever he's went. Man, he's produced though. It may not be flashy, it may not be, as brilliant as some of the other receivers, but I mean he's been very, very good, bro.
So watch Christian Kirk just take all the shine that Brian Thomas Jr. is supposed to have this year.
Maybe
that's exactly about to happen.
Maybe
we all gonna be mad.
Yeah, but I like Shakir as a stash, man. I really do. Until the pecking order is determined in Buffalo.
Absolutely on that. And then James also said, honestly, Gibbs and Robinson, they both got carries and reps taken from them last season. I mean, I think if we did do a hashtag free Jahmyr Gibbs, I think that was probably about as, I don't want to say a certified 100% surefire thing, but it's about as close as they could probably get just based on what we already saw. Like just put in perspective. So when we was doing the free Tony Pollard hashtag back in the day,
that existed. That was the thing.
We was all on the train. Don't leave me hanging there. You had a seat on the car too. I mean,
me?
Ezekiel, you was on the caboose, but you was there. I
was a witness. Man got me tied up in this crime right here, man.
But what I'm aiming at is Ezekiel Elliott, was the RB1 of the team. We were seeing the change. Pollard looked the part, for sure. But in the same instance here, David Montgomery and Gibbs. But the difference is Gibbs is far more talented.
Oh yeah,
far more talented than Pollard. So, and I think that Alvin Kamara comparison when he got drafted, I think that's about as
spot
realistic.
On.
Yeah.
Yep. So the thing with I can say with Tony Pollard and Khalil Herbert and Sean, you remember they ran that man Montgomery out of Chicago, ran him out the city, man. Look at him now, man. This man made it.
It's okay.
Sports and everything. But they benefited from having these like more physical running backs in front of them. So then, like, Zeke's gonna wear him down, and Zeke wasn't as productive. But just, yeah, that's what Tony Pollard benefited from. That same with Khalil Herbert. They would have these bursts because, your D line's tired. I mean, your linebackers are tired because they've been trying to tackle Zeke and Montgomery.
But all right, so
yeah.
So I guess when Alvin Kamara started, I mean, it was him and Mark Ingram. And
Mark
Ingram's the more physical guy. But actually, when Mark Ingram left, like Kamara became that guy. Like he was legitimately that guy. So that's what we're hoping for Gibbs. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, but do we really want to see that? Look, I am like in today's NFL, running backs, they don't get the love. Wide receivers are the ones that get the bread at this moment. We seen every contract set a new record. Jamar Chase wants to get paid 1 penny over what Justin Jefferson is getting, man. Like instead of taking like the same amount of money, which is crazy to me, but I mean it is what it is. That's not my line of work. But I say that to say this: running back I'm all for pairing another guy. I'm all for pairing another guy with my main guy. And I think they got the perfect combination to do so. I'm speaking of Gibbs and Montgomery. And that was the reason why I drafted them. And if I can pull up the numbers last year, and this is before, because remember, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't get going until about week 5 of the season last year.
Yeah.
Monty was, the guy. Monty finishes RB 17, which is pretty good. And Gibbs finishes top 10. Even though he was still slow streaming it early in the season. So I think this is one of the pairings that could actually work. Like I think the days of just do it all, just straight third down, like nobody else getting no clock other than Christian McCaffrey, of course. But like I like to see guys, other running backs sprinkled in just because knowing like how that's like the shortest lifespan of any position right now, man. Like those guys, they just can't stay. They just can't stay past 6 years. Like you reach the 6. I mean, like we see what happened to what's going on with Dalvin Cook now. Like now he's like another guy that has just, and he was up here. His trajectory was like this. Pairing another running back, I don't think that it truly diminishes like a value at today's NFL.
You know who I blame? I blame both of you guys. I blame your boy Ty Gurley and then your boy Zeke for those massive contracts from back in the day.
That's fair.
That's exactly what happened.
Hey, Gurley was that dude, though, man. But you know, like Ty Gurley is like just now getting over. He might be over 30 now.
No, I think he's 30. He's either 29 or 30.
So young.
Yeah.
Ty Gurley was a freak, man. That dude was like, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like all the wear and tear up on like the bodies. If I'm an NFL GM or head coach, like I'm about to go get another guy who can actually produce. Like I don't care about your ego. I want to be able to save you for a longer career, make you a little bit more money, and conserve your body so you're not banged up by the time you leave out of this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a couple of anomalies. I mean, Christian McCaffrey's still going strong. Derrick Henry's still going strong. And that's about it right now. But
two, huh?
But I said a couple. I literally meant a couple.
Back in the league.
Well, that made it past that. I think both of them been in the league over 6 years at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, we're almost there. We on our way.
Boy, what year is
Yeah. I'm glad you cut it off.
I think he on year 4 or 5. It's either 4 or 5. Yeah,
I think 4.
Might look it up just to make sure.
I think this is probably the healthiest JT's been probably since year 1, 2. But I guess based on that formula, I mean that's probably the reason why the fantasy football like landscape has shifted to wide receivers being drafted early on in the first round as opposed to running backs when we first started. It's just whole dynamics changed.
I've been doing the complete opposite. Like I want to grab my because I feel like there's so many wide receivers. Like I'll try to get my running backs as early as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody's grabbing these top tier, but then you're drafting our second and third second string running back. It's not not very productive. So
I mean, like if this was like 6 years ago, I think my mindset definitely been like that. But at this point, the last 2 years, like if I could have, let's just say in the first like 5 rounds, right? If I can have 2 elite wide receivers and a third one that's a wide receiver 1 as my flex, and then I guess maybe 1 decent running back as opposed to like 2 elite running backs type deal, and then like maybe like a couple decent wide receivers, just based on how things are. Because what's that formula? Opportunity plus talent. Like the opportunity is definitely there for these wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson with a healthy quarterback, Jamar Chase. Like you get 2 of those in your lineup, like it's hard for you to lose that week because they're consistent and their volume is there. It's insane. Like you can plug in a RB2, second string running back in your lineup and become serviceable just because of how split it is these days. So it's like everything's just changed. Matter of fact, James asked, is Breece Hall worth a top 5 pick in a PPR league?
Yes.
Yeah. I think this year he is.
PPR, yeah, absolutely.
Because, I mean, you got McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Breece, and then at that point, what? I know Bijan goes up there.
You can start to sprinkle in like Jefferson, guys of that nature. Like you got to start thinking like, okay, if I got a top 10 pick, I mean top 5, excuse me. Like you got to just start to thinking like, what would kind of more so make sense? And I don't want to leave his guy out either.
I appreciate it.
Jonathan Taylor, because like if I'm there, like we're talking about the 3 to 4 best running backs and the 3 to 4 best wide receivers that you wouldn't mind taking at that top 5 pick, and I think like all those guys are worthy. Is Breece Hall worth it, man? Yeah, that dude is good. That dude is good, bro. Like, man,
dude. And what's this? This is his this is his 3rd year, right?
Yeah, 3rd year.
And he tore his ACL his rookie year. So I know like the ACL injury isn't as scary, quote unquote, as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 years removed from that, I'm pretty sure his explosion is all the way there at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a 90-yard TD waiting to happen, whether it be receiving or rushing. That O-line is good. Aaron Rodgers is back. They got Big Mike Williams for help. Garrett Wilson there. I mean, that defense is still defensing. You know what I mean? One of the top defenses is in the league. I see a lot that's going to go right for Breece Hall. This is going to be the first year he gets his 1,000 yards. He was, 5 yards shy of it last year? Like 995 yards and 4 TDs rushing. But yeah, he's definitely going to get that this year.
And all this and he did all that with a canceled Disney Channel quarterback, Zach Wilson.
Yeah. So I mean, I wanted Breece Hall, but somebody wanted to push me all the way up to 11. You know what I mean? So I did the best that I could do and pick Jahmyr Gibbs, which is I'm completely fine with that at 11.
Quick question. So if we were, I'm gonna ask you guys this: if you were picking between two receivers, between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, who would you pick?
Chase.
You were talking about you would pick Chase.
Just because of the quarterback situation right now.
Name bias. But that's where I was kind of getting at. I was like, I pulled up their stats and I'm looking at them head to head, and Justin Jefferson leads, and man, he's played an extra year, but he leads in like all the stats. But he's had like worse quarterbacks, like yeah. I mean, I take Joe Burrow over Kirk Cousins any day.
but at this point, it's like Joe Burrow versus Sam Darnold. Like,
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna still take Justin Jefferson though. I am.
Whew.
Over. I mean, and again, come on, y'all. We splitting hairs here. We talking about two of the premier wide receivers in the league. It ain't like you can legit flip a coin and be happy with either one of those guys at the end of the day. But I mean, if I got my top, I mean, I'm going CeeDee Lamb. Like, you want to get targets, bro. Like the dude got 1,000 targets last year. So I mean, like, come on, man. Like that one should be a little bit easier of like a no-brainer.
Oh, by far, by far. And this one right here, I don't disagree. I do not disagree with.
St. Brown over Jefferson and shit.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm not against it. I'm not against that. But you got to understand though. I mean, Jefferson.
It ain't Jefferson. I'm knocking.
He's just everything else.
Right? No. I get what you guys saying. You got a legitimate argument here, but I'm just saying like their offense is starting to come up a little bit too as well. Jamar, you drafted Jameson Williams because of his potential and what he can be. They also got Sam Laporta there. Look, Amon-Ra St. Brown is that dude. He is that dude. He's worth every penny. I think he's underpaid right now. He was just one of the guys that actually went out and got his contract first. He didn't want to deal with the mess. He wanted to be in camp with his guys and do the things that he had to do. So shout out to him. He's phenomenal. I'm just saying, it's Justin Jefferson we're talking about here. The dude got the potential to break every receiving record there potentially is, man, because his trajectory has been this since he's been inside the league before he got injured. Like, the dude played 10 games and still got his 1,000 yards with no problem. I think he missed 7 games last season.
I agree. I mean, and that's why I said I would take Jefferson over Chase because he's done it with less. But like St. Brown doesn't have to deal with less.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm still taking Terrell. What up, bro? Yeah, I'm still taking
Okay, nice.
I'm still taking Justin Jefferson, but I'm not mad at you guys for picking Amon. That dude is good.
But
both
like
these guys are good.
Like the sum it all, like you said, we're splitting hairs.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But yeah, Terrell, show us send us your team. Yeah, send us what you got. And James' point, just like you said, it's the quarterback situation.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But this dude has I know he had Calvin Kirk for a couple of years, and he gonna throw the ball down the field. He gonna find his top guy. Be that as it may. It's Justin Jefferson, man. So
just to continue with this conversation until Terrell puts up his team. Mm-hmm. So like last year, entering fantasy season, Justin Jefferson was the basically like almost unanimous number 1 pick going into the year. It was between him and Christian McCaffrey. It was like 1-2 right there.
Yeah.
And that's because we know what we saw between him and what we saw from Kirk Cousins. But at this point, entering this year, like, let's just say if I had pick 8 and Justin Jefferson was right there, by all means, I'm taking it. I'm taking him. I just know if I had a top 5 pick, I don't think I could spend a top 5 pick on Justin Jefferson this year. But top 10, towards the end of the, closer to the 10th spot, sure, by all means. Because, at that point, you just want to make sure what you're getting, especially in that first round, is about as guaranteed as it can be across the board. But yeah, as we wait on Terrell's team here, let me think. Do you all have any more drafts to do?
I'm still looking for. Yeah, we do.
I know we got.
Yeah, we got that one. But I'm like low key, like I'm still like for me having like a lot of personal situations going on outside of football. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of dropped out of some leagues prematurely this year or whatever, and I'm looking to get into one more possibly. So if anybody knows, let me know. Hopefully, just because a 10 to 12 team league, because that 14,
yeah, that was crazy.
Like that was nuts. And I had a 14 team league last year, and like I did so much better in that one than I did in this one this year. But I'm looking for a 10 team league, man. So if anybody knows, $50 or higher though.
Hey, put it in the Discord.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I will. $50 or more is where I'm looking for right now. Nothing less than $50.
All right, so Terrell, 12 team super flex. All right, so half point PPR, tight end 1 point per reception. You got Hurts, Kyler, Levis, and then running backs: Gibbs, Javonte, Jonathan Brooks, Dottle, and wide receivers: London Higgins, Godwin, Deontay, Palmer, tight end Kincaid.
So quarterbacks solid, very very good there.
Hurts, pretty much you got an A for quarterbacks.
Yep. Running backs, you lack depth. You lack depth at the running back position. Jonathan Brooks he should be out, right? For like the first couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's on the IR for the first 4 because he's still recovering from that ACL from last year.
Rico Dowdle.
I mean, Javonte Williams he's definitely RB2 territory. I mean, we seen the potential before, but it's
but it's that other guy there. Is it McLaughlin, whatever his name is, who can actually compete with him inside that backfield for touches, like take some away. If that wasn't the case, then I would be a little bit more happy with him. But this is a 12-team super flex, so I get it.
Hey, real quick, he said he know a league. Just so you know.
Yeah. Is he in the Discord?
I don't know. Terrell, are you in the Discord? It's so cool. If not, there's a link for it here. Matter of fact, I'll post the link here in a few.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah. If I can jump into that one, pause. That'll be great.
Wide receivers, London has wide receiver 1 upside, but that's more like a solid wide receiver 2 right now. Higgins, we've seen shades of Higgins. It definitely wasn't all the way there last year. Godwin.
I ain't mad at his wide receivers. I just don't think that he has a true wide receiver 1.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Fantasy wise.
Right. He definitely has a tight end 1. So he has a tight end 1, a QB 1, an RB 1 in Gibbs. Just missing depth there because you got to start, 2 at least. The tight end 1 with the 1 point PPR like scoring in there, that gives him a little extra boost there. It's just the wide receivers, like you mentioned, just don't have a true number 1 fantasy wide receiver 1 yet.
No, but
London could
not
be
yet.
that, but just not as of today.
And I'm not mad at it because he do got London and Higgins to start, and he can throw another one of those. Like, yeah, I mean, it's if I would have to rank his wide receivers, though, they're all good wide receivers. Even Deontay Johnson has some fantasy appeal this year. He ain't gonna see the end zone very much. That I can promise you, just from experience. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, B- maybe for wide
I
receivers.
was gonna say B.
Yeah. I'll say B- wide receivers. You get an A for tight end because he's basically a wide receiver. A-. I'll say A-. Like if you had Laporta, Kelsey, or who was the other? Andrews, I would probably give you an A-, but I mean an A. But I'm gonna give you A- for tight end, and you definitely get an A+ for QBs. Running backs, I'm gonna have to give you a C, big dog, because that depth just isn't there. But you got Gibbs, and I think Gibbs is phenomenal. And he's going to have a hell of a season. So.
Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. Foxborough. He said, how do you feel about taking Taysom Hill in a 16-man thinking about? I mean,
why not?
Why not?
Why not?
You talking about a league as deep as the abyss, man. So, yeah,
you got to figure out which game it's going to be. He always has that one game where you're like, oh man, Taysom Hill. You got to figure out which game it's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mad at it. I'm not mad at it. At that point, when you're talking about leagues past 14, man, you just want to know that player's name and what team they actually play for.
Yeah.
He says punt and tight end cut, it never pans out because I got the 15 out of 16. Oof. So look, so in these deep leagues, like unless you're getting Laporta, like in the first, like I would take Laporta. I would probably target Laporta if you get it on the second round on the turn, because he stands out to me like him and Kelsey is almost in that own tier, but maybe like Andrews as well. But it's just like tight end is a little bit deeper this year than in years past, but there's levels to it, right? Laporta is pretty much going to get his
that one, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like pretty much having like a wide receiver one, but you have it at a tight end spot. And so unless you get Laporta there on that turn, if he's still there, I would probably wait a little bit, but I wouldn't necessarily have like Taysom Hill as my like starting tight end.
Oh no.
Backup, sure, but not starting. No. There's about probably a solid 12 to 13 tight ends that could probably get the job done this time around. But you make sure you got to get at least one of those. If not Laporta, then you got to get one of those top 13. Otherwise,
you know a guy who I like a lot this year at the tight end position, David Njoku. I like him.
Oh yeah. I thought you was gonna say Big Mo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Big Mo, man. Yeah.
Shout out to Big Mo.
Dude, you know what? No matter what we talking about, he always finds his way up into this.
Big Mo gotta come up.
Hey man. Matter of fact, go when you go down to check out the coach this year. Talk to Big Mo so you can come on the pod, man. Get Big Mo on the pod. As much love as we give Big Mo, specifically you, he needs to be on the pod. I'm just saying. All right, Anthony said I use the formula running back, wide receiver, running back, or wide receiver, running back, wide receiver. Which form would you choose this year? I would. I think it depends on what you draft, but just on surface, probably the latter.
I'm gonna say the yay to that as well. Jamar, I think you and me both know that running back, wide receiver, running back formula too well. Like we have done that in years past, but just like the times, everything changes, man. So, but it also depends on whether you can like it's a certain amount of guys that you still kind of want. Like, say if Christian McCaffrey is available, we know he's going to receive the ball too.
Correct.
Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, those guys can give you a little bit more value inside the passing game. So it also depends upon who's there and what type of league that you're running in. So it's a lot of contributing factors to making that decision, not just the formula.
I think I disagree with both of you guys, but it's for exactly what Deshaun. It depends on where you're drafting at. If you're drafting early, I would go running back, wide receiver, running back, just because you can get that top tier, and then you can get that guy that's kind of like maybe in between as a running back, and then you're set at running back. And there's so many wide receivers available, and there's always that guy, I can't say guy because there's not any ladies in the NFL yet. You always get that guy that's gonna like break out, and you got to catch him early.
So, but I would also say, just to throw in this tidbit, I'm gonna name off 8 running backs. You need one of these on your team. You need one of these. Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry. You need one of those 8.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
And I don't care how you do that formula. You just need one of those 8.
And
everything else will work itself out. It should.
Najee Harris too.
No. Nope. Like if you wanted to throw in a guy like I think Jamar did. Like let me double check. But I know that I think he hit all 8 in a row too of the guys that you do need. Even if you're staring down like the barrel of a gun at the moment and you drop the guy, like I'm gonna just throw one out there. Travis Etienne. Say you missed out up on all those other guys. And you up on like that back end and you grab it and you grab like an Etienne. I think that can kind of more so make up for it. Like say if you do grab on like the front end, you grab it like a Justin Jefferson, like Jamar mentioned earlier, and then you couple that with the Travis Etienne. So it all kind of
Etienne for me would be the next one after that bunch type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel a lot more comfortable with that top 8 though, for sure.
Hey, and let's not forget about Joe Mixon as well, going down to Houston. Joe Mixon's been solid. Like he's at second tier. Like you say, if you miss out, I would go get a Joe Mixon.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
A couple of the other guys that I want to bring up are he already mentioned Joe Mixon. Nah, Jamar did a good job. McCaffrey, Robinson. I'm just kind of picking through Taylor, Barkley, Hall. Who else did he say? Derrick Henry. Yeah. Good job, boy. Good. Yeah. Great job. So the next tier, like you were about to say, Walt, Mixon, Cook, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, and who else did we mention? Travis Etienne. Those guys. So that's that second tier that it's like, these guys are still RB1s, but albeit borderline RB1s, because I say anybody past 12. That's what I like to use. If you're 13, you're fringe. 14, you're fringe. Anything after that, I consider you an RB2. So.
Correct. And then going back to
I forgot Josh Jacobs went to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. And your boy is injured too. What's the RB? Yep. But AJ Dillon is injured.
But I think they drafted a rookie. And I think, so we'll see on that one. Then Foxborough asked, what about Conklin? Nope.
As your starting tight end? Yeah,
nope.
Nah. You don't want that,
Don't do it. Matter of fact, let me ramble off some tight ends for you. Laporta, Kelsey, Andrews, McBride, Kittle, Pitts, Kincaid, Ferguson, Ingram, and Njoku. That's 10 right there. And then Bowers, Goddard, Freiermuth. That's 13. And then if we really get in there, Dalton Schultz, that's 14. Outside of that, maybe Cole Kmet at 15. But I can't even say Hawkinson because he's still recovering from injury. So, I mean, you could stash him. You could stash Hawkinson at some point. But I would not. Like anybody outside of that, it's pretty much a dark throw, for real.
Can we?
with a blindfold on in the dark.
Mark, you hit a name. Pat Fryermuth. Can we say free him? Yeah, like, don't he deserve better?
I think he does. You know,
he's a good player.
No, he's a great player. I think he's more so of that old school traditional tight end that can kind of more so do both. Yeah, man, he has great hands, man. Like the dude can catch, but he can block his ass off. Like he really can. So I just wish that we get the situation together with him, man, because I think he
got quarterback. Y'all got quarterbacks. Y'all good.
Well, listen, please don't get me started this morning. Do not get me started this morning.
Y'all don't even got a quarterback.
No, we got a glorified running back / QB part-time.
Jamar said that man was. Jamar and them been saying in Chicago that man is top quarterback. All he needs is offensive line. Yeah, he did that. Sean, ain't he been telling us that?
And you know what? In real life, I really wasn't on the train, but as far as fantasy, I was, just because of the things that he can do. But real life, man, it's just me watching him and like the throws that he has been making in camp and just the footwork mechanics. Look, I know that you ain't got to be a ballerina out there, you know what I'm saying? But the footwork is just kind of low key sloppy. The balls ain't being delivered in the right placement. You got Mr. Unlimited outplaying him out there in Pittsburgh right now, man. And you're supposed to be the young guy coming in with the moxie and the, I don't know, man. Am I happy he's QB 2? Oh yeah, man. I think we got one of the best backups in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's just, if you can't beat out Russell Wilson at this stage of the game,
I mean,
I know he ain't y'all problem no more, Jamar. He's ours. So I mean, y'all basically, wash y'all hands with him. Look at him.
Hey, Jamar, you went dipped his hand in some bleach, killed all the.
Oh man, just better days ahead. That is all. Hey, your boy James said, which Steelers running back would you draft first?
It depends. If it's PPR, draft Warren. If it's standard, draft Najee. Simple.
All right, that's simple enough. All right. Anthony said, of course, I have none of those in my 14-man. I strayed and took Mahomes in the 3rd. I usually don't grab a quarterback to the 5th. I did get ETN.
Hey, Anthony, if you can you show us your team?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Yeah, because I'm just curious to see or whatever. So you took Mahomes in the 3rd. Okay, so here's the thing about quarterback, you guys. You can get a guy in the 6th and 7th that ain't gonna give you too much different production from a guy you can take inside the 3rd round. Like I mentioned, like Jordan Love. Like I took Jordan Love kind of late. Could I have gotten Josh Allen? Absolutely. I wanted Josh Allen, and I was staring at him right there. I'm like, man, should I take my boy? Everybody knows how much I love Josh Allen when it comes to fantasy football, because it's like you got a QB1 and an RB2, basically, on the same, like basically built into one. So but I think if the production ain't gonna be too far away, like I mentioned, and Jordan Love outscored Patrick Mahomes last season. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things to where it's like even a Matthew Stafford or a Jared Goff, you can still win a league. I think these are still league winners by. Go ahead, Jamal.
I'm gonna say I don't know about the Matthew Stafford one, but hear me out. What I'm about to say is, I mean, there's a little science to it, but what you're saying is accurate. So for instance, especially in deeper leagues, so how, in that Yahoo league that I'm in, that 14, it turned to a 16, that I pretty much been to the finals 4 straight years in a row. I'm proud to say that 4 straight years in a row in a deep league. So like with the Josh Allens, the Jalen Hurts of the world, Lamar Jacksons, and probably to a certain degree, I would throw probably Anthony Richardson into this one here. So for instance, in those leagues, when you have deep leagues like that, every position has become pretty scarce, especially the running back position, right? And so, me knowing that, if I can get one of those, that pretty much will supplement the fact that my running back position, because he gonna give me the yards on the ground, and plus he's gonna be a quarterback. So I kind of consider him as another running back on top of that. But to go back to what you were saying, like drafting Mahomes, as we know, Mahomes is who he is in real life, right? But from a fantasy perspective, like maybe not last year, but the year before, he probably was QB1, and then times like that. But there's other times to where he probably his points at the end of the year doesn't match the ADP that you get him. So with that being said, like Mahomes gonna be Mahomes, but I can probably wait and get, let's just say, a Brock Purdy later on. That's probably by the end of the year, probably ain't gonna be too far from it, because at one point in time, Brock Purdy is guaranteed to throw you 2 touchdowns a game and pretty much have the ball safe. Or even like you mentioned, a Jared Goff. Like a Jared Goff at times will be super brilliant. They just don't have the floor with the legs, but nevertheless, like with quarterbacks, like between getting the quarterback, one of those top 3 elite quarterbacks, to opposed to one of those quarterbacks that you can wait like maybe 6-7 rounds later, like the value of it doesn't really change too much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it's all about compensation, right? Like if I take this, what you're pushing and pulling? Yeah, you're pushing and pulling from different positions. Yeah, I pulled a good quarterback, but I'm kind of pushing back up on like my wide receivers. Yeah, I pulled on a good wide receiver, but I'm pushing back on like my tight end. It's all about balance, right? I think y'all both mentioned it early on. The reason why y'all drafted the players, how y'all drafted them, is because you kind of wanted to hit at least somewhere around that top 10 position for every position that there is. You want to have at least one of those guys. Top 10 quarterback or somewhere around top 10. I want to say top 10. Even if you have 12 at QB, that's still good because it's deep. Even top 12 at quarterback, I mean wide receiver, because it's still deep. But at least you kind of more so want that for you to be feeling great at the end of your drive. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So it, like you said, it's all about balance. Like if you taking one of those early, what are you sacrificing later? Like it's because you're not going to be able, unless this is a 4-man league, you're not going to be able to get elite at every round of the draft.
It's impossible. Well, unless you're playing with some people who don't. Now, you know what? I want to talk about this for a second. Draft grades. Don't look at them, you guys. I know it's a good talking point, but please don't go by that, because it's like every year, bro, like they get it so wrong, because you can't predict this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't predict a Puka Nacua. You can't predict players of that caliber. And it's going to be always those guys year in and year out that you're going to grab from the waiver wire that's going to make your team a little bit better. So it's a numbers game, right? They go off of statistics, they go off of numbers, everything is simulated. It's computer generated, basically. So if you sitting there and you like that player, go with that player, but it has to be some sort of reasoning behind it. Don't pay too much attention to the draft grades that they give.
Yep, because at the end of the day, these players still got to go out there and play, regardless of how they're projected. Because I mean, like you said, ain't nobody saw Puka Nacua come. Nobody saw that. Or the fact that Raheem Mostert had it felt like almost like 20 touchdowns last year. Nobody saw that coming either.
I think he did, right? He led the league in rushing TDs last year, right?
He did.
Was it Christian McCaffrey? Hold on. I'll check that. I got a little bit of time.
So with that, I'm just kind of piggybacking. I think it was last year. I came in second in both of my leagues, but I was projected to have a last place team at the beginning of the season. So pick your squad and roll with it.
Yeah, because I mean, drafting is a big part of it, but it's not all of it. Because that waiver wire.
I'm gonna say waiver wire. That's it.
It's very important.
Many leagues off the waiver wire.
So both of them were tied. Christian McCaffrey 21, Raheem Mostert 21, and you can't. And if you believe that you knew that at the beginning of the season, you a bald-faced lie.
Man, I did know that, man. I knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, and then also,
y'all.
and if you believe Raheem Mostert gonna do that again, you a ball.
Oh yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Man. So real quick, and then really quick, just before next Sunday's podcast, which is officially be the week 1 version of us, we got 2 games this week. Ravens, Chiefs. I mean, of course, the starters you're gonna start regardless, but
yep.
I want to, for the Kansas City side, I want to pivot towards the wide receiver position because that's the one right there that's like Rashee Rice. I mean, we talked about it earlier. I mean, he's gonna play, I suppose. You know, he's out there. You know, Xavier Worthy, you got that one. Are both? Would you consider starting both? Not saying you have both on the same team, but I'm just saying, like, more so. Let me just pivot to Worthy. Would you be comfortable starting Worthy week 1 out the gate?
It depends. It depends on the league. It depends.
Right.
Like if I'm in like a 14-team league, I ain't got better options than my flex. Like, why not? Why not throw them in there? But
it's a gamble. It's week 1.
Yeah. I'm way too
how they're going to use him. How they're going to use him.
Yeah, because of course you're starting Mahomes, of course you're starting Pacheco, of course you're starting Kelsey, and I would say more times than not you're probably going to start Rice too.
Yeah.
But the Worthy one, okay. And then, on the Ravens side, I am curious to see this Lamar and Derrick Henry dynamic on offense. But, of course, you're going to start Andrews. I'm pretty sure more times than not, probably at worst, you're probably going to flex Zay Flowers.
Yeah, or wide receiver 2 in deeper leagues, yeah.
Right. And I'm pretty sure that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. And then the Friday's game in Brazil, I don't know why they picked 2 teams with the color green out there, but nevertheless, out of all teams, you picked 2 of them.
Gang.
Right, so, yeah. Bruh. So
I like this game though, man. It's gonna be a good game. I like this one even better than the first one, in my opinion. Fantasy play.
I think it'll be a more competitive game too.
Yeah. I think the Eagles defense actually gonna play better than what they did last year, just because they got better coordinators this time around.
Yeah.
All right. So for the Packers side, of course, you're starting Love. I'm pretty sure you're starting Josh Jacobs. The wide receivers, that's the interesting point. You got Dobbs, you got Reed, you got Watson. Matter of fact, rank them. How would you play them? That's tough.
I think it's impossible, Jamar, but let me randomize it for you. I'm gonna go. This is just me personally. I'm gonna go Watson, Reed, Dobbs in that order. And if someone said Reed, Watson, Dobbs, okay. If someone said just don't say Dobbs 1 right now. If you want to say Dobbs 2, fine. But do all 3 of them dudes are good, man. Like they can ball, and although they're young, they got like one of the youngest offenses in like the NFL, man. Those guys
are the youngest, I believe. I know last year they were like the youngest.
Yeah, they all pretty young. They all gonna grow together. That's why.
Yeah, man. Christian Watson, what 6'5"? Like
that's all.
Yeah, I think he's 6'5" with like a 4.3 speed or something like that, man. Like get that man the ball. Yeah.
Hope we don't blow a tire, aka a hammy again.
Don't tomorrow. Don't.
I just said I hope he don't. I didn't say he would.
Yeah, he's 6'4", and so he not quite 6'5", but you know how they like to pat the stats. Because it's funny because my son had a game yesterday, and I'm looking at how tall they got him. Like, I don't know whose son that is. That's not my son. My son isn't that tall. He doesn't weigh that much, but you know how they do the thing, though. So shout out to my son. He had a hell of a game yesterday. Good job.
What they got him set at?
Corner.
No, I mean like what is it? What is the measurements?
I'll tell y'all off. I'll tell y'all off.
He the juggernaut, bro.
I'm like
240.
I'm like, that's not my kid, bro.
That's funny. So yeah, pretty much. Like I 100% agree with that ranking type scenario. It's kind of hard. Then on the other side, with this juggernaut of an offense here,
How do they keep doing it, man? How? Look, I get it. Jahan Dotson he ain't great or anything, but he still adds a little bit. And again, he's gonna get lost in the sauce with all that going on in Philly. But still at the same time, they still got another capable wide receiver up on like the team. It's like, I don't know. Everybody hears a phone call from Philly, and then everybody's answering the phone. So like, I don't know how they continuously do it with Saquon and just man. Like they're loaded, bro. Loaded. Yet again. It seems like it's like this every year.
All I want to know is, and I asked Walt this, I think 2 weeks ago, when we get to the goal line, who's punching it in? Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley?
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. So who's pushing who's tush?
Yeah, it ain't Jason. It ain't Kelsey's no more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're gonna have Saquon, line up at center because he got the quads. So
yeah. Hey, for Saquon, free last. I mean, he's not being shackled down by that horrible
Danny Grimes.
Yeah, offense, and it's like
he took his money.
Yeah,
they gave Danny Saquon's money, bro. That's exactly what happened.
They got a lot of people money. Was it the tight end Waller? They paid Waller. Didn't pan out. I ain't in the league anymore.
And they're making music videos.
Oh my
Kelsey
God.
Plum.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Oh man. Talk about fumbling, man. Sheesh, both. He fumbled both, though. Yeah. Fumbled the bag, he fumbled his chick. Yeah.
Definitely did. But yeah, you definitely starting Hurts, Saquon, AJ, Devontae, Goddard. That's it. That's all.
That's all you need.
Not even flirting with Dotson. Don't even do it.
Not even.
It's one of those, God forbid, gets hurt. You're not inserting Dotson into any lineup.
Oh, so, now you want to say God forbid. You didn't say that about Christian Watson, who I just drafted up in a 14-team league. No, I need to hear God forbid, man. Those words are stronger.
No, I'm telling you, these dudes with the technicalities stuff.
That's a little personal.
Oh, these technicalities. Oh man, so I think this was a good warm-up show for next week.
Football back, maybe. No, man, it won't be another Sunday without football until February.
God is good. You already talked to our families?
Oh yeah. I put in my 2 weeks notice a month ago.
Bro, it's crazy, man. Like I told him, I was like, man, it was really, really nice getting to know them. We spent some time, man. It's like, man, the kids grew so much, and it's like, man, I look beautiful wife. I'm like, yo, wow. Man, all right, I'll see you in February.
Like we celebrated birthdays in the off season.
Yeah,
took a little mini vacation. Man, they come a long way, but yeah, it's some Sundays coming around. I don't know what to tell you.
So all right, POP, hold it down.
I'm legally blind.
Right, family. Yo, it's not a Vin Diesel movie over here.
Oh man, but yeah, man, great show, fellas. Week 1 is next week. We made it. Yeah. Without further ado, Mr. Reed, where can they find us?
Oh man, it's been a minute. Basically, you can find us anywhere where podcasts are found. Apple, Spotify, Pandora, like anywhere we are there. Make sure you check out the us on Facebook. Check out our Instagram, our YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Continue rocking with us, man. We got the Discord popping. Discord be jumping, you guys. Make sure you check in that, especially during the season. You know, I know you guys be having like those last minute questions, like right after we come off the the air or whatever. Just tap into the Discord. We will be answering all those questions all the way up until game time via Discord. So man, see you guys in about a week, man.
Yes, sir. And as for Anthony, we'll see you in 2. Enjoy tailgating next Sunday. He's a Bears fan, so I'm sure he's gonna be out there week 1 for the Titans game. So, whew. But I guess without further ado, wake up, Mr. West, Deshaun. I'm Jamar. Destination Fantasy Podcast. We will see you all for week 1. Peace, blessings, much love. Deuces.
Adios.